And 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Degrees outside, summer, she is a-comin'. There's no stopping Mother Nature. 81 degrees, excuse me. Sunny, nice. So weird earlier today. Because like Drew Brees is saying, it is New Orleans. It looked like it was going to rain earlier this morning for a second. But as a New Orleanian, we kind of knew it wasn't, but it was threatening. It looked like cloudy, overcast. Then it all burned off, and now just bright and sunny out there. Rinse and repeat all week long. Through the weekend, really. Through Friday, for sure, sunny and clear. Lots of 60s, 70s, fading into the 80s. Saturday and Sunday, it doesn't look like rain, but cloudy. All next week so far looks like crap, which is a nightmare because we have the first round of the Zurich Classic a week from Thursday. And bigger than that economically by a lot is the first day of Jazz Fest a week from this Thursday. And right now, the forecast, we're way out. It's Tuesday. But next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rain predicted every single day. I don't mind a little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday rain as long as we don't get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday rain. We want the golf tournament to go off without a hitch. A lot of international folks love golf. Great promotion for the city. And we want Jazz Fest to go off without a hitch. No delays, no starting at noon. Some acts get canceled. You want 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. all 4 days next week for Jazz Fest. We don't need rain Thursday through Sunday in New Orleans. Nothing worse than that. When you have great days, great weather days like we did last weekend for French Quarter Fest, it just makes it so fantastic. It's like record-breaking stuff. And then when we get the sloppy, crappy rain, it's just a bummer. It's depressing. And people work their tail off all year long for these events. So it's those folks and the people that want to attend. So keep your fingers crossed. Do a rain dance in the opposite direction. Hey, next week, Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple is going to join us on the program. Day 2 of the legislative session. A lot of talk of insurance reform. Insurance costs are insane in Louisiana. But boy, these injury attorneys certainly add to that. The obnoxious amount of advertising, billboards, radio, television, it's off the charts. There was legislation a few years ago to limit lawyers from being able to advertise on billboards. The lawyers, lobbyists came out, and the billboard companies, lobbyists came out. Look at billboards in Metro New Orleans. I mean, what do you think the percentage is that it's a lawyer advertising on that billboard? It must be 25%, 1/3. I've mentioned this too many times. There's some billboards that there are 2 boards on a single pole, and both of the billboards on the single pole will be competing lawyers. Could you imagine your company paying for a billboard and a competitor of whatever you do is on the same billboard as you, right next to yours? Who would want to pay for that? But the billboard companies are so inundated with lawyer requests that they have to put competing lawyers on the same damn billboard, essentially. That's mind-blowing. And then this statistic cannot be ignored. And obviously, this has nothing to do with insurance companies and taking advantage of people, not taking advantage of people. This has something to do with one thing and one thing only: 110% injury attorneys. That's it. No one else. We have the same amount of wrecks, percentage of population, as the rest of America. These wrecks have the same amount of damage to the vehicle as the rest of America. Yet we have twice the injury claims as the rest of America. So if you don't think these lawyers on TV, I'll get you a check, all this egregious, over-the-top, obnoxious crap, just in your face, 24/7, 365, in the car radio, on TV when you get home, driving around, walking around, riding around, billboards everywhere. I mean, the other day, I think it was the Fix New Orleans website. Now, I'm not picking on Channel 6 one bit. This is just what the Fix New Orleans guy did. He picked a newscast at random. It happened to be WDSU's News at 4. This is the breakdown of advertising in the program's 1-hour time slot from 4 to 5 o'clock. 4 to 5 o'clock. Station promo. Second spot, Morris Bart, then a GMC truck, then Ed Womack, then a health commercial, then Morris Bart, then a station promo, then Guaranteed Life Insurance, then Ashley Furniture, then Morris Bart, then the Good Feet Store, then Ed Womack, then Go Auto Insurance, then Dudley DeBosier, New Orleans Hamburger, Gordon McKernan, Ashley Furniture, Morris Bart, a Toyota spot, then Ed Womack, Rooms to Go, Gordon McKernan, Clean Energy Advocacy, then an asbestos claim spot, then Morris Bart, Medicare Advantage, then nitrous oxide victims, Morris Bart, Dudley DeBosier, Donwa, that's what that D apostrophe AUNOY. Then Gordon McKinnon, then Lakeside Toyota, then Morris Bart, then Children's Hospital, then Ed Womack, then Lakeside Toyota. So there were 36 commercial breaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of the 36. The clear majority. More than 50%. Lawyers. In 1 hour. Just obnoxious. So if you don't think that's influencing people to sue, like it's justifying it, it's like, hey, lie, embellish, exaggerate, just do whatever you got to do. Someone's going to take your claim. Somewhere you're going to get money for whatever. And then you've got doctors that verify the BS stuff. No, it's obnoxious. Same amount of wrecks, same amount of damage to the vehicles, 2 times the claims compared to every other state in America. We like to sue. We're litigious. We want the free money. It's give me something, for free. Throw me something, mister. It's obnoxious. Now, I'm glad the governor and the state's addressing this, but here's a problem. The governor continues to insinuate that injury attorneys that advertise and the insurance companies are the same. They're just equal and opposites. They're not the same at all. They're not the same at all. There's a lot of insurance companies that people have confidence in, that they've made a claim and they've been paid. Most people that have a claim with the insurance company, I'm not saying it's in a hassle. Sometimes it can be a problem, but we get what we're trying to get 99% of the time. Obviously, there are examples where that does not happen. People have died where the insurance company hasn't stepped up, and people have not been fairly compensated. The insurance companies are fighting. There's no doubt there needs to be reform there, but it's not even close. Comparing insurance companies, which a lot of them people have been with for years and have no problem with their insurance companies. But these injury attorneys cost us all money. When I got a guy running the controls to my show from Salt Lake City and his car insurance was $80 in Salt Lake City and the same car in Orleans Parish is $280, that's a problem. When my buddy, his car to insure his SUV in New Orleans was $3,400 a year, and in Birmingham, Alabama, it's $1,100 a year, a third, 30%, that's a problem. The Morris Barts, the Dudley DeBosiers, the Womacs, they don't take a check till you check with me. All these folks are rich to wealthy. And all of it's because they're taking a few pennies, a few dollars every single day from all of us. The legitimate people that only make a claim when, it's legitimate. And no one wants to make a claim because no one wants to get hurt or get in a wreck. Pat Connick's going to join us, state senator, in 5 minutes, live from Baton Rouge, live from the Capitol, day 2 of the legislative session. We'll talk to him about this and also some legislation he's proposing. I think Pat's a straight shooter. This concerns me, though, and I'll question him on it. This changing of the levee board. I don't get it. And when you've got honorable people on that board resigning and are questioning the changes, that's a problem. What was the problem with the levee board to begin with? All I see is a governor that wants to have full autonomy and control of these boards, appoint people that are yes men. We've already got that problem in Louisiana. We don't need it enhanced. We'll visit with State Senator Pat Connick in 5 minutes. Boy, we can't have this. A jogger, 8 p.m. last night, robbed at gunpoint in City Park. Jogging? I mean, first off, what are you getting from a jogger? Hey, I've got my Louis Vuitton wallet full of hundreds. You get the iPhone, you might get a watch and some jewelry or something, maybe. Crazy. Lakefront Easter Sunday, this Sunday, Lakeshore Drive, enhanced security measures. I'll tell you about that. One thing they're worried about, which they should be, the trash, the litter. Serious, I'd say a bunch of animals, but I don't want to offend my animals.
5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City. Corey Johnson back at you on a nice Tuesday afternoon. Blue skies, sunny, nice. Hey, if you're looking for the best dry cleaner in the business, tired of your dry cleaner screwing up over and over again? Young's Dry Cleaning, a New Orleans institution since 1940, 85 plus years. youngsdrycleaning.com. youngsdrycleaning.com. Hey, let's head to Baton Rouge, the state capital. State Senator Pat Connick joins us from day 2 of the legislative session. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing great, Corey. I wish it was over, but we're not.
Well, you only got 57 more days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember those days when I was at LSU. That was the best job at LSU. $35 a day back in the day, Pat, working in the Senate. Air conditioning. It was a big time job if in the as we fade towards summer if you're an LSU student.
But it's a great learning experience for these young, college age kids. So they see things happening firsthand for the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
But they see it.
Yep. No, when I grew up as a kid, Schoolhouse Rock, I'm just a bill. And then I got to see it live in action. Hey, the session cranking up. Your proudest moment as a House rep or now a senator? I'm guessing it had to be over a decade ago when you and a couple of West Bank citizens, Mike Teachworth and attorney Pat Hand, and you got the tolls removed from the Crescent City connection when, I don't want to say it was insurmountable, but it was pretty damn close. It was typical Louisiana politics. keeping those tolls in place, and you and these two citizens fought it and got the tolls removed. Would that be one of your highest highs as a public official, Pat?
That was very rewarding, that battle, and it was a years long battle. We couldn't have done it without you and Tommy Tucker and WWL and the media, because we did it with we were fighting for the truth, and we finally got it done, and that was good. So that was one of my good victories up here.
Pat Connick's with us, state senator. Hey, what's you get 5 bills this legislative session?
You get 5 non-tax related bills. You can have unlimited tax related bills as you wish, but I have a light schedule this session. There's going to be a lot of work done on DOTD. I'm focusing on that, reforming, the way DOTD operates, trying to streamline their processes. The governor's focused on getting that done. So that's where I've been spending a lot of my time in the past few months, and that's where I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the next 57 days.
What are your other 4 bills besides DOTD?
I have one for insurance, that if an insurance company has an affiliate that they deal with, a related company, that company shares its profit and loss statements with us. So we know that if the insurance company is poor mouth and saying we can't make any money yet, all the affiliates you deal with are flush with cash, we need to know that. In Florida, there was all these companies insurance companies were declaring bankruptcy, yet all the entities that they dealt with, like the adjusters and all these other groups, were making all kinds of money. So it was a way for the insurance companies to funnel their money outside of their business and declare, like, hey, we need more money. So that's trying to expose that. The other one is a grooming bill, where we're making a crime for a child predator to groom a child. Right now, there's no law in effect. So we're trying to get in front of that. So that's 2 of the ones I have.
Seems like it'd be difficult to prove grooming, or no?
No, I think with all the sexual abuse in the church and all over the place, I think the DAs recognize that there is some activity that goes on that can be proven. So I'm working with my brother's officers, the DA in Jefferson Parish, to make a strong bill to, focus on that and try to, do something good there.
Pat, when you go to the session, I mean, I've had you on for years. I've always figured you're Pat Connick, West Bank guy. You're coming up with your own bills based off of what your constituents are looking at, like the seafood labeling bill. The restaurants have to, tell you what the seafood is. If someone's selling retail, those types of things. The DOTD streamlining. That seems like the governor asking you to put up legislation and not your constituents. Is that accurate? And is that how the process works a lot of the time?
That's accurate, and that's how the process works some of the time. This governor, like it or not, he's been aggressive. He wants control. You saw that with the NOLA troop in the French Quarter.
Yep.
They have a whole army of police and other specialties embedded in the Cabildo, where they monitoring what's happening in the quarter. If someone has a warrant out there for their arrest, they get facial recognition. They go out and get them.
Yep.
And it's making a difference. And the beauty part about it is that once they're arrested, they're prosecuted by the AG's office.
Yep.
And these guys are being thrown in jail. Before it was like a revolving, door. Nothing was happening. But talking to the state troopers, they're excited about what's taking place. They are excited that if they bust their rear ends, to get an arrest, it's going to mean something. It won't be, all right, let it go. So that's the good thing the governor's doing.
Yep. No, I love Troop N.
To streamline their processes. When if you got a road project, let's get it built. Let's not have the design team in Baton Rouge look at it, and then the local design team and kick it back and forth for several years. Let's get it built.
No, we got over 12 billion, maybe 15 billion in projects that we're backlogged. And then there's another, 12, 15 billion in dream projects. So we've got tens of billions of dollars in roads, bridges, and stuff that needs to get done. So I got no problem with that. Hey, Pat, one thing I do have that I'm concerned with, with the governor and this levee board change. Why the levee board change? I mean, the levee board seem to be doing fine the last 20 years. I don't see any shenanigans. This isn't Robert Harvey or whatever that dopey guy's name. They're not building bridges to the lakefront airport. It seemed like a really good group. And then the people that are leaving the group because of the changes are legitimate business people in the community, like Jay LaPere, people that you want on that board, yet they're leaving the board. Why the changes to the levee board? What's the problem? You just made a comment. He wants control. And that's what this seems to be about, the governor wanting control of the levee board for some reason.
All right. Now, there's these major levee boards on the west and the east came about after Katrina, and the goal was to keep politics out of it. On the west, they are doing a great job. There's no infighting, nothing like that. On the east, you got three components. You got the levees, you got the police, and then you got the non-flood management assets. You had a $40 million budget. You have over 200 some employees. You got almost 50 police officers. One group doesn't want police officers involved in levee work. Others saying, no, we want it. You talk to the folks in Lakeview, say we want the levee police to protect us, to supplement the NOPD. You get that disagreement. Then you have, the way that the bill is set up is being filed is that the engineers and the professionals are going to still be on it, but the governor will have more say-so in what person gets selected. The governor, I think, got in the issue with Mr. LaPere was the fact that the nominating committee was only giving the governor one name to choose from. And so he only can choose one and said, no, you send me two. And the nominating committee said, no, we're not. We're out of this. So, and
it wasn't an engineer. Got rid of the engineer and brought in a non-engineer.
And they appointed a police officer. I told them that was a mistake.
Yeah, that was insane.
And you can't do that. One of the drafts, Corey, they wanted the senators to pick. The first draft was the senators to pick the members. I said, absolutely not. You want, the schools of LSU, Southern, and Tulane have picks from engineers. You need somebody with HR qualifications. You need somebody with a business background, MBA. All that's in there. But the good thing about it, it's a process. And I talked to 20 people at least on trying to figure out where we are with this. Flood protection is going to be the main concern. And I'm digging into it because this is going to, once it leaves the House, if it gets out of the House, it's going to come to my committee. I want to know the backwards and forwards, all the players. So when the end result, when we have that final bill, it's going to be something that, people will say, okay, we're going to get flood protection. So that's my ultimate goal, and hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's the governor's ultimate goal. I think it's control over the levee board, and that's that. I mean, the police thing, get that figured out. But I just think when you have quality people and a levee board that's handling flooding just fine the last 20 years, I think this is politics at its worst. I'll give you the last word, Pat.
No, it's a process. You may be right, but just we got 57 days of this, and there's a lot going on. Insurance reform is number one on the agenda. The trial attorney is going to take a hit, but the insurance companies need to take a hit also. We've been giving them the store, and they haven't given back anything in return. So that's going to be interesting.
Hey, Pat, can you hang on for a couple of minutes and we come back, or do you have to run?
We just finished the session. I'm up on a balcony, so I have some time.
Okay, perfect, man. Fantastic. We're going to knock out a quick break, come right back. More with Pat Connick, talk a little bit about that levee board and then what he was just mentioning, insurance and injury attorneys. State Senator Pat Connick from the West Bank's with us. Corey Johnson with you till 6. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon, State Senator Pat Connick's with us. Hey, Pat, before we move on, so essentially this bill, and I guess what, half of it's from Bro or Broad? Is that a House rep?
Yeah, Jacob Bro from Plaquemines Parish. He's a good man. He's up and coming, but he's got the bill.
So they're going to go from 9 members to 7 on the board. The committee that is non-political that would elect the members to send to the governor to approve, that's going away. and the governor will nominate all the members on the board now?
No, you would have three of the members of the four. Three members of the seven would be picked by LSU, Southern, and Tulane engineering schools. The governor would choose four from human resources expert, a CPA, a police officer, and one at large. So the qualifications are now just that the governor would have more say so in who's picking.
He should have no say so in who's picking until they're given to him to pick. He's getting rid of one layer so he can put Shane Guidry on the board or something. The Elon Musk of the Louisiana, Shane Guidry. I went to De La Salle with Shane Guidry. He's ridiculously successful, and he's by far not the sharpest tool in the shed. It's mind blowing to me. Seriously,
I disagree. He's sharp. He runs that business, and I did talk to him about. I sat down with him about this bill, and I said that he wants to put the engineer who designed this system on the board. He wants the ball bearings to be greased and the gates to be,
Pat, no offense. Who gives a crap what Shane Guidry thinks? Seriously. I mean, it's funny. He wants to put the engineer. I mean, it's comical. It's sad. It's really, seriously. Who gives a crap what Shane Guidry thinks?
Listen, that's why we have the discussion, Corey.
No, I'm with you. No, that's why I like you, and I know you're going to go through the process, and you'll come on the program tomorrow if I ask. That's why I like Pat Connick. And I open things up with the tolls. All right, before we move on from this, doesn't that same committee elect the West Bank levee district people, which is great? The West Bank's fine, according to Shane Guidry. It's the East Bank that's the problem. Isn't it the same committee that elects the West Bank people?
Yes. So we're gonna keep those guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's mind-boggling, Pat. It's just such a waste of time. It's just political crap. Let's move on. Hey, the governor continues to insinuate that injury attorneys and the insurance companies are the same. They're equal and opposites. I think that's absurd. I mean, to compare the insurance companies to these advertising injury attorneys, there's no comparison. I thought this stat was incredible, Pat. Louisiana, we get the same amount of wrecks as every other state per capita, the same amount of damage, yet we have double the claims as the rest of America on average. That has to be the overt radio, television, billboard advertising of these insane injury attorneys that have never spent a day in court. Am I right or wrong? What do you think?
I think you're close. Listen, I am an attorney, and I don't advertise, and I do handle auto accidents and trucking accidents, but, they're legitimate. These people are legitimately hurt. I don't advertise. It's all word of mouth for me.
No, and you go to trial, too. It's not just insurance company facilitation.
Yeah, but when I'm at home and I see these one after the other, commercial, it's offensive to me as an attorney that's done. But, people buy into it, and you get the right to free speech. But, we're going to try to curb that. I'm going to vote for the bill to ban advertising. We're going to call it solicitation. We're going to if you have if you get hit by an uninsured motorist person driving a car that's not insured, the first $15,000 is not recoverable to the injured party. We're going to raise that to $100,000. So if you can't, if you drive without insurance, you're not going to benefit from the rules that protect you. So you got a bunch of those things coming down. Comparative fault's going to be changed. It's going to affect my profession, but it needs to be cleaned up in a way to make it fair.
Yeah, I don't think it might enhance your profession, Pat, because the legitimate injury lawyers might get more business than the ones that are doing the egregious advertising. What is it? Tort reform? Is it? I mean, what? And is there an example of another state that has some strict lawyer advertising laws, and maybe we can just copy them?
Well, I know this has been done before, and the state's been sued and lost by for freedom of speech kind of arguments.
Yep.
But I think that something's got to give, because the culture of just easy buck, bump being a car wreck and you get $15,000. That's what's dropping up the rates.
Yep.
But every year I've been up here, it's tort reform, and nothing is. I agree with the governor on this, that what is the insurance companies doing to lower their rates? Except they need more. They need more. So I understand where he's coming from because I see it. One thing we did pass last year was a 2-year prescriptive period. We were one of 3 states that had yet to file suit within 1 year. By extending that period to 2 years, Corey, you don't have to hire defense attorneys. You don't have to go to court. You don't engage the judges. And all that litigation expense, gets delayed by 1 year. That should show some benefit too. You have more time to sell your case instead of filing your suit within that 12-month period.
Yep. And a lot of these don't go to trial. They're not in front of a jury. There's no expenses of court. It's all settled. How do we keep tabs on that? How do we control that? Because the settlements are what jacks up our insurance rate. I mean, I think if we had we had the normal rate of injury claims as the rest of America, not twice as much, then I think insurance rates would stabilize. You'd have more competitors come in instead of leaving the state. And I'm not saying rates would go down, but they'd stabilize or not increase as frequently as they do if we mirrored the rest of the country. When we have 2 times the claims, if it was Corey Johnson Insurance Company, I'm going to have high rates in Louisiana compared to a state that doesn't have twice the claims with the same amount of wrecks.
But let me say this. When you file suit, litigation begins, you have deposition costs, you have filing fees, you have all these other expenses, you have high-priced defense attorneys you got to pay. You got an office, you got a staff, you got to pay. That drives the cost up. But I think I go back to that 2-year prescriptive period would give you some time to avoid all that. So, and there should be some savings from that bill that was passed. Like in Maine, for example, it's a 6-year prescriptive period, and they got 0 jury trial threshold. So, but listen, years ago we changed that jury trial threshold for 50 to whatever it is now, 15.
Yep. Hey, Pat, there are ways to get, to skin the cat. And you've mentioned some that, they a few years ago, they tried to no advertising on billboards and that the lobbyists came and that went away. Maybe it's not lawyers can't advertise. Maybe it's rules based around their advertising. Like they can't mention money. They can't mention how much you get. They can't mention, check with me, I'll get you a check. Like they can't mention those types. All they can mention is, I'm a lawyer. If you need an injury attorney, I have great experience. Nothing about money. I don't know. It seems like that, kind of more of an ethical, moral, higher integrity type of advertisement than restricting it, where what you were insinuating, they're going to claim First Amendment type of stuff, free speech.
Yeah, that's going to play itself out in the courts, but let's see how the session ends, and you're going to get a bunch of bills that's going to be tort reform related.
Yep.
That's going to pass, and the governor's going to sign it, and let's see what happens after that. So, will they come back next year and say we need to do it again or do some more? But it's come to a point that the insurance company's got to give us something for doing all this.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think getting control of the lawyers is key. You throw them that bone, I think the insurance companies would react. Pat, always a pleasure. Let's do it again in a few weeks as the session progresses.
Let me know. Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. That's State Senator Pat Connick, always available, always coming on the program. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, Audubon Gutters taking care of me. Expecting some rain early next week. Got that oak tree. It's kind of pollen season. A lot of leaves falling off the tree and the like. I don't worry about them landing on my roof and going in my gutter and eventually a clogged gutter. I got brand new gutters in October from Audubon Gutters. Drew and his crew installed gutters with the Leaf Guard system. So I'll never, ever have to pay someone to get up on a ladder and clean my gutters ever again. If you need gutters for your home or business, why would you even consider going somewhere else but New Orleans' own Audubon Gutters, the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company? All they do is gutters. They don't do paint or roofs or siding or windows, only gutters. AudubonGutters.com. Go with the best. I am blessed. I get to talk about advertisers, clients on this program, businesses, companies in the metro area and beyond that are the best at what they do, like Audubon Gutters, the absolute best at what they do. Now, I'm fortunate. I've got a show that is viable, successful, and I get to scrutinize the, folks I talk about. They're different folks that come to me all the time that want me to promote their business. And some I'm like glad to do it. I'm like, man, I go there. It's a world-class place, top notch, love it. Some I'm like, I don't think it's a good fit. And it's because maybe I don't believe in that business, or I don't go to that business. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. A lot to discuss, including Easter Sunday on Lakeshore Drive. Going to be a lot of restrictions, a lot of police presence, speeders, noise, trash, dark tint, license plate violations, all kind of stuff for Easter Sunday on Lakeshore Drive. Hey, we're coming right back.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Producing tomorrow's talk radio today, Corey Johnson.
This is tomorrow's newspaper. Precisely. I already went further ahead into time to see what else happens.
Your View, Louisiana. That's Cox Channel 4 in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette. And live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
Future. Unbelievable.
766-9480. 766-9480. Honestly, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back at all. But who has on a state senator like I do and then proceeds to say, I know Shane Guidry a little bit. He's not anywhere near the sharpest tool in the shed. And then proceed to say, who gives a crap what Shane Guidry thinks at all? You don't get that in too many talk shows nationwide. Some, and you definitely don't get it anywhere locally. And the reason is because two things. I'm right. Okay. It's not about, hey, I'm right all the time or that I'm wrong, whatever. I admit when I'm wrong. I'm right on this. It's a ethical, moral issue. It's a power control issue for the governor. And no, it's not good for Louisiana. So no, I'm going to shout that out as loud as I can all the time. Let's head to the phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Rob's in New Orleans. What up, Rob?
Well, Corey, I will pat you on the back for what you just did. And you can tell all your listeners this is not a setup. This is not. I didn't get bribed with the day spot gift certificate. That was amazing. I mean, and that's not why I wasn't even calling in on that issue that you were initially talking about. And that happens a lot. I call in and then I'm listening, and then you bring up something else. But first of all, while he was talking about the levee district, and by the way, you both were fantastic. You both were cool, dispassionate, talked about the issues. It wasn't political. It didn't get, vociferous between. It was great. And you kind of, whatever, spoke truth to power. But on that subject of the levee district, he said, there were 200 employees in the Eastern Levee District and 50 police officers. This goes back to something you've brought up many, many times. When Bob Sarasoli came in, why, like you brought up the fact that there's a Causeway police force, like all of that should be under one, under one law enforcement agency. But anyway, getting back to what you were talking about, the insurance, you really nailed it today. There was an article in the last month or so, I think Stephanie Regal wrote it, and it was about how this guy McKernan was moving in on Morris Bart's territory.
Yep.
And it just talked about the economics of like how much money they made. And by the way, this guy McKernan, I see him standing on the big truck. Truckers are the lifeblood of this economy, and it's a hard job. And without truckers, the whole country would fold. But anyway,
I know it's so funny. Everybody takes things how they want, how it benefits them. Like truckers are the bad guy. I'm not saying they don't have some horrendous wrecks. There's tens of thousands of trucks on the interstate every day. Of course, there's going to be a wreck where a trucker's involved. But to act like these truckers are evil and they're overworked and their payload's too heavy and that's the norm is sinful. You're right. These are, truckers are like part of the lifeblood of the country. No, it's pathetic.
Remember, we had a law firm here that hired people to go out and smash into trucks.
Exactly. Exactly. No, how ironical is that? How ironical is that?
This article, there was no mention of the insurance. And someone wrote a letter to the paper in response and said, in the old days, those ads were just in the phone book. But he didn't even mention what you mentioned today. Ask anyone in Louisiana, are you paying too much for auto insurance? We all are. And it's because of these lawyers. And it's funny, you also mentioned, I'm just going to close it out here, the ads. There was some effort to curtail them. I'm old enough to remember when cigarette ads were on television.
Yep.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. The Marlboro Man. On a federal level, they outlawed that. I mean, they could, but in any case,
you can't smoke on a television program, right?
Well, yeah. Smoking the Winston tastes good, but just
no, like on a television show today, on TV, a show on like one of the networks. I don't think anyone smoked cigarettes on those shows.
No, exactly. And you're not allowed to run ads. But just
no ads for TV. That's right.
I have USAA, and because my dad was in the Marines, and I gently, this woman just slammed on her brakes, and I tapped her bumper, and I got out of the car, did the right thing, exchanged insurance. She was fine, and it was her fault. But when you hit someone from behind,
it's your fault.
She was absolutely fine. The next thing you knew, I got this phone call from a billboard lawyer. She was in a neck brace.
Wow.
I called USAA, who is, again, that's the U.S. military insurance company.
I get it.
And they're based out of San Antonio, Texas. I said, don't you dare give that attorney one penny. There was nothing wrong. The woman was fine. And she said, well, where are you calling from? I said, New Orleans. Oh, she goes, oh, of course. And she told the story. She said, there's overwhelming number of frivolous cases from our region. And she said, just today, there was someone who was filing a claim about being hit in a parking lot, and the security camera footage showed that the car was alone in the parking lot. So she kind of rolled her eyes on the phone and said, yeah, New Orleans. So that's because of McKernan, Morspart, Dudley DeBosier. Listen, one last thing. If Saturday Night Live was local, the spoofs they could do on these lawyer ads, and I will say Dudley DeBosier's ads are freaking ludicrous.
Oh, no, they are ridiculous. Exactly. It's like I'm going to hire one of those chumps if I've got a real injury. I'm going to go get a real attorney, not these millionaire jokers. No, it's pathetic. Same amount of wreck, same amount of damage, twice the claims. Hey, Rob in New Orleans, thanks so much for the phone call. No, we need major reform with these attorneys. It's ridiculous. The advertising is over the top. What more do you need to know? Same amount of wrecks. Same amount of damage, twice the claims in Louisiana compared to the rest of the country. No, these over-the-top billboard, radio, TV, advertising attorneys, just in your face all the time, that needs to be curtailed. What's that, Blue Boy? 5 o'clock power hour next. He's right. Stick around, New Orleans.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour on a nice sunny day, even though it's 81 degrees outside at 5 o'clock. What the hell? What the hell? That answers that question. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees. It is New Orleans. So, yeah, we're going to hit 80 in April. Bummer. But we do have lots of 60s and 70s for the rest of the week, and sunny. The week's going to be nice, just like this through Friday. Saturday and Sunday looks like a little cloud cover. Next week's my big concern, because a week from this Thursday, next Thursday, round 1 of the Zurich Classic, and also day 1 of weekend 1 of Jazz Festival 2025. Right now, next week, and look, it's Tuesday, so the farther out, the harder it is to predict. But right now, the weathermen have next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rain. And that'll just bum me out and bum out a lot of people. We do not need rain next Thursday through Sunday. We don't need any rain delaying the Zurich Classic, the annual PGA Tour stop. And we definitely don't need rain in Gentilly for Jazz Fest. Don't need folks, canceling their concert time slot or vendors not selling what they brought in, folks not being able to go. Keep your fingers crossed, pray. Do an anti-rain dance. We need what we just had for French Quarter Festival. Record-breaking French Quarter Fest, as predicted. Record crowds, incredible weather. It was gorgeous. 60s, 70s, breeze blowing. The cool Mississippi River water catching that breeze. It was so nice. No, we need that next week for the Zurich Classic, the golf tournament on the West Bank, and Jazz Fest in Gentilly. Got a good one coming up this hour. And got a good one next week. Tuesday next week, Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple will join us live on the program. It's day 2 of the legislative session. Governor Landry continues to act as if injury lawyers and the insurance companies are equal and opposite, that they're both, the problem, and they're both equal. There's a chicken and an egg thing here. They're insurance companies insuring people in all the states in the country. And folks have problems with claims and things like that, but generally speaking, it's okay. Injury attorneys around the rest of the country, a problem. And in Louisiana, they're a major problem where statistics prove they're a major problem. And I'm talking about the advertising injury attorneys that are on billboards, that are on radio, that are on television, that never go to trial, that don't know anything about the law, that wouldn't know what to do in a courtroom. They're simply insurance company facilitators. And they take on clients that a lot of the time, a large percentage, it's obnoxious. It might be like a third or 50%. Either their clients embellishing, exaggerating, or outright lying, and it's obnoxious. Same amount of wrecks per capita as the rest of the country. Same amount of damage, obviously, from those wrecks as the rest of the country. Yet we get 2 times the claims on average compared to the rest of the country. Twice the claims. Are we made out of glass? How is that possible? How is that possible? I thought Blake R. Curry, local attorney, who I had on last week, said it best. Weak, feeble people that are easily injured in Louisiana, or the injury attorneys are the problem? No, I mentioned last hour, Fix New Orleans on Twitter, on X, Fix New Orleans. They posted something last week from Channel 6's 4 o'clock newscast. And it was so telling, and it was so obnoxious. There were 30-something breaks. 30 exactly. 36 breaks, excuse me. 19 of the 36 were lawyers. More than 50% of the Channel 6 4 o'clock news breaking down the advertisers from 4 to 5. Morris Bart, Ed Womack, Morris Bart, Ed Womack, Dudley DeBosier, Gordon McKernan, Morris Bart, Ed Womack, Gordon McKernan, Morris Bart, Dudley DeBosier, Don Donwa, Gordon McKernan, Morris Bart, Ed Womack. It's obnoxious. It's ridiculous. Same amount of wrecks, same amount of damage, twice the claims in Louisiana. These lawyers in our face all the time on billboards, on radio, on television need to be curbed. Heel, fella. Heel, boy. Someone needs to pull the choke chain on those lawyers. It's ridiculous. No, that's the number one reason we have high insurance rates. These pretend lawyers that don't have a passion for the law, don't know the law, didn't go to law school to be a lawyer. How they pass law school's mind-boggling for a bunch of them because they barely can formulate sentences. No, they're out there just scamming, just no ethics, no morals, no integrity. The dollar is king. Let me go get it. And who am I to judge this person if they're lying or not, that they really don't have a neck or back injury? I don't know. Most lawyers with integrity, ethics, or morals would walk from the case. All you guys see is money and you go attack it. No, it's pathetic. And thank God it is finally being discussed from the governor to legislators, like or dislike these politicians. And a lot of them I dislike. But at least finally, these injury attorneys that advertise, it is being, discussed. It's being talked about. I don't know if any meaningful legislation is going to pass, but at least it is being discussed, and these folks are being disparaged as they should be. That I've been doing for years. Finally, other folks are on board, and momentum's building. I don't know if you ban them from advertising completely, but no mention of money, no mention of what you're going to get. Have these commercials, angled with some sort of integrity, ethics, and morals, not just, a free-for-all where, let's go get the cash. It's ridiculous. Morris Bart claims he's the largest injury firm in the state, and he has $1 billion in claims. That means he's pulled in $350 to $400 million himself. These injury attorneys take 35 to 40%. I mean, Dudley DeBosier, the no fee guarantee, no joke. No injury attorney's getting paid unless you do. We're the only firm that has the no pay guarantee. It's a joke. Uh-oh, phone lines, Miss Peaches. It's a joke. It's pathetic. No, and enough's enough. We're all getting taken advantage of. I don't like getting taken advantage of, especially from a bunch of weak suckers like these injury attorneys that advertise. I don't like getting taken advantage of. Each of us every day, pennies, dollars out of our pocket to these guys with their BS lawsuits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe is open till 9:30 tonight. I picked up Lebanon's for lunch. Some chicken shawarma, some tabbouleh, fried football kibbe. I still have a bunch of that left over sitting in my refrigerator. Large portions, fresh, authentic, priced right. Lamb chop, shish kebab, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. They're open right now. Outdoor dining, too. Enjoy this weather before it gets too hot. Outdoor dining tonight at Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette in Uptown by the streetcar barn. Tommy joins us on the program in New Orleans. What up, Tommy?
How you doing? I'm glad to be part of the Power Hour.
No, I'm glad you're part of the Power Hour. What's happening, man?
Not too much. I call you roughly this time every year to give you a little public service announcement about the Institute of Politics at Loyola. Our Ed Renwick lecture is tomorrow night, Corey, and I wanted to let the audience know. Kenneth Polite, former U.S. attorney, and Mr. Harry Rosenberg,
wow,
another U.S. attorney, former U.S. attorney, will be discussing kind of the evolving Department of Justice that is going on right now in Washington, and providing their thoughts based on their experiences. And obviously Kim was part of the Biden Department of Justice, I think second or third ranking there. And I think certainly we'll have a lot of interesting thoughts for those that have an interest in that type of thing.
Boy, I mean, what a panel. Renwick, Kenneth Polite, and I mean, Harry Rosenberg's is intelligent and smart and knows the laws as well as anyone in the United States of America.
Yeah, so just one minor clarification. The event is the Ed Renwick lecture. Obviously, Dr. Renwick has passed away at this point.
Oh, God, you're right. You're so right. I apologize, Tommy.
No worries at all. Just to clarify, the event is tomorrow night at Loyola's Law School. So not the main campus, but down on the corner of Pine and St. Charles at 6:30 p.m. And it's going to be moderated by Clancy Dubose. So should be a nice event for those that might have an interest in that type of conversation about what's going on at the Department of Justice.
Tomorrow, 6:30. Tom, thanks so much.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. That's pretty accurate. I've got a leather skin. So does Blue Boy, literally. But, yeah, don't say anything disparaging about Blue Boy. Hey, Tommy, who just called from Loyola Law School, sorry, that brake train came down the tracks. I'm sitting there talking to you, and it ran us over. I apologize. 6:30 tomorrow night at the Loyola Law School, which is St. Charles and Pine, essentially St. Charles and Broadway. A block off of St. Charles and Broadway, St. Charles and Pine. They're going to have that Ed Renwick lecture. And Kenneth Polite, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana. Harry Rosenberg, former attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana. They will both be on that panel. And Clancy Dubos will be moderating it. That is tomorrow night at 6:30 at Loyola's Law School. St. Charles Avenue by Broadway, St. Charles at Pine, a block off St. Charles and Broadway to be exact. Tommy, thank you so much for that phone call last segment. And don't be a stranger, man. Glad you called to hype that. I'm sure you got some keen insight on other stuff. We'd love to hear from you if you ever feel like doing that. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Day 2 of the legislative session. The governor continues to insinuate that the injury attorneys and the insurance companies are equal and opposite. I'm not saying the insurance companies aren't a problem, but the injury attorneys are the major problem and dysfunction. There's a thing called chicken and an egg. If we didn't have 2 times the claims as every other state in America, we wouldn't have these high rates. So the injury attorneys are the main problem, the main culprit. The insurance companies are reacting to the injury attorneys and their erroneous claims. Twice, same amount of wreck, same amount of damage, twice the injury claims. How is that possible? Are we made out of glass? No, we are bombarded by billboard, radio, television advertising of these cheesy, sleazy attorneys by name only. They're insurance company facilitators. They don't know the law. They don't go to court. They don't go to trial. Many of their clients, the lowest common denominator, folks that, I don't know what to tell you, lack ethics, morals, integrity. I got to get mine. Someone else is taking it. I'm going to do the scam too. Lying, at the least exaggerating and embellishing, if not outright lying about it. And then doctors that are part of these law firms indirectly, that whatever the person says, the doctor's thumbs up. Yes, neck and back. I can't verify with an MRI, but they say they have a catch in their neck and back and they feel a little dizzy. Kaboom goes the dynamite. Write a check. No, it's pathetic. It is pathetic. It is an environment. It is almost like a way of life. It's part of Louisiana. We're getting bombarded by these injury attorneys 24/7, 365, and it gets people motivated to make a claim. And a lot of the time, it is, like I said, either an exaggeration or an embellishment or an outright lie, no injury at all. I mentioned Blake R. Curry, the local attorney who I had on the show. Go to his Twitter. You can go to my Twitter because I reposted what he put. He posted. It is a video of a policeman pulling over someone. The cop's like 5 feet, his vehicle 5 feet behind this like F-150 truck. The cop gets out of the car. He's at the window of the F-150 truck, either talking to the person in the truck or writing him a ticket or something. All of a sudden, the police cruiser starts rolling, like not even 1 mile an hour. It's like 5 feet from the truck. Apparently, the cop left it in drive, and maybe it was resting against a piece of wood or a rock or something, and then it just, momentum finally, it went over it, and it tapped the bumper. I mean, watch the video. It's obnoxious. Tapped the bumper of the truck. Morris Bart's claim is $1.5 million in damages. If you see that, you'll be like, wow, that's what Morris Bart's all about. That's what these advertising television attorneys are all about. Literally, the bumper was tapped, and Morris Bart's going to claim $1.5 million in damages. He'll take home $600,000 on that one claim, that one BS claim. Check out the video. Look at the video. It's obnoxious. $1.5 million. Morris Bart takes home $600,000. Yeah, no wonder he lives on Audubon Place. No wonder he's not rich. He's wealthy. No wonder he sits courtside for Pelicans. Now, these people shouldn't be celebrated as New Orleans characters because we recognize them because they're injury attorneys advertising so much. They should be scrutinized. They shouldn't be respected. Now, I hear this all the time. I've heard this for 20 years. You don't know Buddy Bart. His nickname's Buddy. You don't know Buddy Bart. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. I'm sure he is. John Hilario's a nice guy. I bet Edwin Edwards at a crawfish boil is a great guy. They just happen to lack ethics, morals, and integrity, something that I was raised on, And when you have ethics, morals, and integrity, you can actually have honor and pride, respect. No, it's crazy. These lawyers are scammers, and it costs all of us money. And yeah, it pisses me off because I don't care about them being rich. I don't care about them. I care about us, that each of us is paying a few pennies, a few dollars every single day we're alive. And it's going to these jerks with their BS lawsuits and their obnoxious commercials. I mean, seriously, Dudley DeBosier. I mean, just looked like a couple of punks. Look at a couple of fraternity boys, you know? Hire them if I have an injury? Seriously. Don't take a check till you check with me. Morris Bard, I'm going to talk to friends. I'm going to talk to friends that are attorneys. I'm going to talk to friends that are attorneys that recommend other attorneys for me to talk to find out which attorney I hire. Not going with the television guy, for crying out loud. No, that just reeks. Hey, wink, wink. You got a little injury. It's probably your fault. Want to blame someone? Give us a call. We'll take care of you. Embellishing, exaggerating, outright lying, no problem. Who am I to judge? Let's go get that cash. Pat Connick joined us last hour to discuss it. State senator, plus a lot of other stuff, including the changes with the Eastern Levee Board. Shane Guidry, he's like the Elon Musk for Jeff Landry. Shane Guidry, just a citizen that's like his key advisor. And the levee board's a problem. But the West Bank levee board's not just the East Bank levee board. Yet the committee that put those members on each board, the same committee. Yet they want to get rid of the committee. The governor's going to have a lot more say. Well, they're going to reduce the number of board members from 9 to 7. The governor gets to appoint 4 directly. Like Shane Guidry, his buddy. No, I told Pat Connick last time, I'm like, who gives a crap what Shane Guidry thinks? Seriously. It's mind-blowing. And like I also told Pat Connick, Shane Guidry's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's not dumb. He's not smart. He's nothing special. He's very ordinary. Inherited his dad's company and took it, made it bigger. There's no doubt about it. I'm not denying his wealth. But a lot of people confuse wealth with, man, that's a smart guy. That guy, knows business, all of that. Shane Guidry is painfully ordinary. He's not special. He's not some genius. The opposite. I would say he's just so mentally. But this is like the number one advisor to the governor. It's crazy. And this levee board stuff is terrible when folks, I mentioned ethics, integrity, morals, that are on that board resigning because of the political shenanigans. They are injecting politics into this board instead of keeping politics out of the board. And that's a shame. Pat Connick said it best. He wants control. Jeff Landry wants control. That's true. Things are cyclical in the world, in case you haven't noticed. Democrats will be in control one day. In the House, in the Senate, in the governor's mansion. And then they'll have all this autonomous control that you don't want politicians having. It'll swing the other way, and it won't be good. Hey, the phone number is 766-9480. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away in the final 30 minutes of the program. 766-9480. Hey, if you're watching on TV, you can continue watching The Nutri-Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube, or check us out on the radio. Let's see. After the military academies, which university contributed the most officers in World War II? After the military academies, which university contributed the most officers in World War II? 766-9480. Miss Peaches, I try to make these questions sort of localized, but then every now and then the question's not local. So am I saying that right now to trick people, confuse them, or am I giving folks a hint that it could be a local school? Or am I tricking them? After the military academies, which university contributed the most officers in World War II? 766-9480 is how you dial us up. If you got the answer, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. I had to really look. I take my glass off because my writing's so poor, Miss Peaches, and it's getting worse. I'm writing faster and sloppier, and I'm even having trouble reading my own writing. I need to slow down. The game of craps. No, that's not what these attorneys, these injury attorneys that advertise are doing. Close. The game of craps and New Orleans. What's the connection? The game of craps and New Orleans. What's the connection? Hey, speaking of connections, Uncle Sam and New Orleans. What's the connection? Uncle Sam and New Orleans. What's the connection? 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Up Yorktown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Kirktown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yeah, you right. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program, 5 o'clock powwow. Corey Johnson with you. Phone number 766-9480. Let's go to the phone lines. Marshall joins us this afternoon. What up, Marshall?
Hey, Corey. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Where you calling from?
Uptown.
There you go. Cool. Good spot.
I'm going to take a stab at this, the origin of craps question about New Orleans.
All right.
I believe the game was brought by Faubourg from France over to New Orleans, where he proceeded to lose his entire fortune and died broke. That's my answer.
That's an interesting answer. I don't know any of that story. I'll have to Google that, but I'm going to tighten you up, Marshall, just because I like I'm going to say it. You answered the question when you said the origin of craps. Like, craps was invented in New Orleans. So it's...
Yeah, he brought it from France, I guess a rough version of it, and he
maybe so.
The game basically on the streets, where they still play it today in a lot of places in New Orleans.
Yep. No, maybe that... I'll Google it, but the game was created or invented here. So, yeah, maybe it, like lacrosse was an Indian game and it turned into lacrosse. So maybe, same kind of thing. Craps existed in a kind of early form, unrefined form, and we turned it, if that's the right word, like craps is refined. But yeah.
Your man Mo Bart sponsoring the gospel tent at Jazz Fest.
What's
Hallelujah.
that? What'd you say, Marshall?
I said your man Mo Bart sponsoring the gospel tent at Jazz Fest. Hallelujah.
Wow. How ironical,
Hallelujah, brother.
How ironical, Marshall.
It's got that big money.
Yep. No, I mean, this is where my job sucks, Marshall. People think I like ripping people and all that. I don't like that. I'm sure Morris Bart's like a nice guy, but what he does as an attorney, there's nothing nice about it, and he needs to be called out, and not enough people call him out, and I'm not sscared to call him out, but I don't enjoy it. I don't like it.
Radio stations. They're not going to criticize Morris Bart and these other people.
No. Well, Marshall, that's another thing. I'm not beholden to anyone. I don't befriend the politicians and the big shots. And if you notice on this program, I mentioned it before, I would probably take money from like a Greg DeLeo, who does like the legal minute, nothing about money, nothing about a claim, just tells you about the law. I might accept, I'm trying to think of some other attorney, but, and Greg's an injury attorney. But I'm not going to take it from these egregious, over-the-top, obnoxious guys. That's why you don't see any of them advertising on my show. When in the past, in the last 20 years, I bet you half dozen have inquired to me about advertising on my show, coupled with wanting me to do live endorsements of their crappy product. And I've said no. And the same thing, Marcia, you don't hear gambling or betting spots. Like if Harrah's or Caesars wanted me to promote like the Fillmore or the hotel, I might have Caesars do some promotion on my show, but I'm not going to do, hey, you want to place a bet, call the, whatever, make your bet and get 10% off or free money if you mention my name. I don't gamble. So, it'd be like me talking about French Market or Community Coffee. I don't drink coffee. So, I don't know, Marshall. I'm not trying to sit there and go, man, I'm the most ethical, moral guy around. I'm just a regular dude like everybody. I'm just doing the normal thing, nothing special.
It's great, Corey. You do a great job.
Hey, Marshall, hang on, all right?
All right, thank you.
Don't go anywhere. Miss Peaches is going to get some info from you, Marshall. We're going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Yeah, you're right. Game of Craps created in New Orleans. Speaking of, got a couple of other trivia questions. After the military academies, which university contributed the most officers to the military in World War II? 766-9480. Uncle Sam and New Orleans. How is that connected? Uncle Sam and New Orleans. How is that connected? 766-9480. 766-9480. I went to Art and Eyes on Magazine a couple of weeks ago. I love Art and Eyes on Magazine. Now, I got prescription glasses. I've been wearing them for 40-something years. I have prescription sunglasses. I'd get a new prescription about every 3 or 4 years, and then I'd get new glasses about every 3 or 4 years. One pair of prescription glasses, one pair of sunglasses. I must own 3 pairs of prescription glasses, and now about 5 pairs of sunglasses, all from Art and Eyes on Magazine. No, kind of going against the trend I've been going for 40 years because I go in there and I see just some great frames and I want them. And I picked up another pair of sunglasses, another pair of Jacques-Marie Mage, a name brand I've never heard of, an independent company that produces super high quality eyewear. What's great about Art and Eyes? Name brands you've never heard of, and that's a good thing. If you wear prescription eyewear or just need a great pair of sunglasses, don't go to the ordinary store. Go to a place that's as unique as you. Eyewear is unique as you. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Incredible eyewear, incredible frames. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Uncle Sam in New Orleans. What's the connection there? 766-9480. After the military academies, which university contributed the most officers to World War II? In the United States, which university after the military academies? 766-9480. Pat Connick joined us in the last hour talking about some legislation about changing the levee board. That's a power trip by the governor. It's a shame. Day 2 of the legislative session, the governor continues to insinuate that the injury attorneys and the injury attorneys that advertise and the insurance companies are the same, just equal and opposite. Obviously, that's not the case. Just think about chicken and egg. If we didn't have twice as many claims on average as every other state in America, same amount of wrecks, same amount of damage, twice the claims, the insurance rates wouldn't be so high. It's a chicken and egg thing. It's donkey in the cart. Get these advertising injury attorneys under control, and then you wouldn't have as many erroneous lawsuits, claims, some just outright lies, and our insurance rates would go down. Are the insurance companies at fault? Sure, they're not perfect, but the injury attorneys, it's egregious and blatant. They're way imperfect, and they're the first movers. They're lighting the fuse. The insurance companies are just reacting. Rates are high here because we have twice the claims on average as every other state. That's it. I mean, simple deductive reasoning, a logical fact-based premise, a second logical fact-based premise leads to a logical fact-based conclusion. Advertising attorneys on billboards, on radio, and television, an obnoxious amount, coupled with same amount of wrecks, same amount of damage, yet twice as many claims equals injury attorneys are the problem. 766-9480. Simple logic. 766-9480. This can't happen. A jogger, 8 p.m. last night in City Park. I mean, just getting dark. Robbed at gunpoint. A woman tackled and robbed at gunpoint. City Park has to be a place where you can go even at dusk. I'm not saying 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I mean, Audubon Park, City Park, they basically shut down late at night. But at 8 p.m., you should be able to jog in City Park and not worry about getting mugged, getting robbed at gunpoint. That's ridiculous. Easter Sunday, this Sunday, Lakeshore Drive, an increase in security measures. 8 barricaded checkpoints. I guess it's about a 4-mile strip from Lakefront Airport to like West End. From the Seabrook Bridge down Lakeshore Drive, through Franklin, through Elysian Fields, through Paris Avenue, Marconi, Canal Boulevard, all the way to West End. About roughly a 4-mile stretch, maybe a little more. There are going to be 8 barricaded checkpoints, and the law enforcement's going to be targeting speeders, noise, seat belts, dark tint, license plate violations, and trash. This There's nothing worse. I'd say a bunch of animals, but I don't want to insult Tolly and Puffy, my cat. But folks that go out to the lakefront, especially that area at Franklin and the lakefront, Franklin and Lakeshore Drive, in between the lake and the levee, like behind UNO, behind Suno. Especially this time of year. It's called a garbage bag. And if your excuse is the garbage can that the public supplies us is full, so we just leave our crap on the table or pile it up by the garbage can, that's not going to work. You folks go out there year in, year out, weekend in, weekend out, and you leave your piles of crawfish tails out there with some kind of it's biodegradable concept? You leave all your trash and garbage on the benches all over. The levee board has to come in, hire folks to clean up your mess. Bring a friggin' garbage bag. And better yet, take it with you, especially you folks that drive a truck. Maybe you don't want to bring a garbage bag inside your SUV or car. I get it. But throw it in the back of the truck. I don't get people. I don't get people that litter. I don't understand that. I do not understand folks that litter. Just beyond sinful behavior, beyond selfish. Do not understand. Do better. No littering. No littering. Boy, outdoor dining tonight. How about Katie's in Mid-City? Get some great New Orleans specialties. Great seafood during Lent. So many seafood choices. Yeah, Katie's is Lent heavy, and it's as New Orleans as it gets. And with this weather, outdoor dining. Iberville, Corner Talamacas in Mid-City. Katie's for dinner tonight.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TSAJC.com, no cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Hey, if you're on the causeway heading to the North Shore, fire in a to-go order at Trey Yen. Be a hero when you get home. Walking in with a big to-go box from Trey Yen filled with all those Chinese cuisine goodies. Better yet, beeline across the lake if you're on the South Shore, or head to the foot of the causeway if you're on the North Shore. You know where it's at. Trey Yen in Mandeville. It's not Chinese food, it's Chinese cuisine. For over 45 years, worth the drive. So damn good. Love me some Trey Yen. I'll be there this week. I love Trey Yen. They got a double. You can double dip at the foot of the causeway. Trey Yen on the left if you're coming from the South Shore. Gallagher's 527 on the right. Boy, is Gallagher's good. Guy turned me on to that about 8 months ago. A buddy of mine. I've been probably 10 times. Lunch at Gallagher's. Start off with a little seafood gumbo, which is fantastic. Get that Warren LaRuth crab meat St. Francis in the little ramekin, piping hot, full of jumbo lump crab meat. And then maybe get the shish kebab. 4 nice chunks of filet, sizzling in butter with peppers and onions, and a big pile of green beans sizzling in butter. Boy, are those green beans good. I'm getting my veggies, even though they're dripping in butter. Gallagher's 527 on the North Shore. Yummy in Mandeville. I think they got a Slidell location. They got a Covington location. They got a 4th on the lake location in Mandeville. But I go to 527. I think that's the address. Not far from the Woodhouse in Mandeville. 766-9480. A couple of minutes still left to jump in the ball game. Got some $50 Woodhouse Spot gift certificates. Uncle Sam in New Orleans. What's the connection with that term, Uncle Sam and New Orleans? 766-9480. After the military academies, which university in the United States contributed the most officers in World War II? 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Oh, boy. Got to do the old glasses thing again. I can't read my writing, Miss Peaches. I have no idea what this is. Something. God. Oh, I know what this is. Boy, he barely can read it. I just saw reporters like the only thing I can read. Now I can read it all. Braves reporter in the play-by-play voice. Catching crap for during an interview, trying to get a woman's number. This is where, Miss Peaches, this is ridiculous to me. Well, no, they go to the sideline report. If you watch the video, it's all harmless. The guy's like in the upper deck. There are 2 women sitting at like their seats, like at a counter, so they're like in some like kind of club level thing. And they, like, let's go to Charlie. Charlie, what's going on there? Hey, I'm with these 2 fans. Hey, what, you come and sit here a lot? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then one of the guys in the booth's like, hey, man, you need to get one of those girls' number or something like that. And then he's like, I'm going to try to get the number. And the girl ends up giving the guy the phone number, and then they laugh about it. It's just a big joke, maybe he's going to call her, maybe not. It is all over social media. USA Today had an article on it. There's like publications nationwide just saying they're being so critical of this guy trying to get this number from this girl. Now, I'll tell you a great story, Miss Peaches. The then Pelicans, well, they were the Hornets, were playing Allen Iverson and the 76ers in the playoffs. This is like 20-something years ago. And I'm working down the dial at WWL, and instead of sending me to the arena for the playoff game, you know, they'd have meetings where they're like, we're the home of the Saints. We're not the home of the Pelicans. Let's talk Saints and not talk Pelicans. And Buddy D would freak out. He'd be like, I'm going to talk Pelicans. And they'd all get rattled because Buddy kind of ruled the roost. So anyway, these jerks send me to the black and gold scrimmage in Thibodeau. You know, Jim Henderson and like Hokie Gajan are doing the play-by-play for the Saints. I get it. You know, they have the rights. They're going to do the black and gold scrimmage. But instead of sending me to the arena to cover the playoff game, they make me the sideline reporter, not on the field with the team, but going through the stands and interviewing fans. So I'm pissed, you know. I want to go to the playoff game and cover it as a professional, not this BS. So anyway, hey, where are you from? Hey, my name's David. I'm from Thibodeau. David, you a big Saints fan? Yeah, great. Okay. Back to you, Jim. Thanks, Corey. You know, just Henderson and Hokie don't even want to do this, you know? So finally, I'm like, well, this blonde's pretty hot. I might as well make it worth my while. Go interview this blonde instead of these guys I've been interviewing. So I'll go interview the hot blonde. Hey, let's go down. Corey, what you got? Hey, I'm with Brenda. Brenda, what's going on? What brings you down here? Hey, I'm from Thibodeau. I love the Saints. And big black and gold. Thanks, Brenda. Back to you. So then I'm talking to Brenda off the air. I'm like, Brenda, you ever want to go to a Saints game? Here's my card. You know, just call me. I'll get you some tickets, whatever. So she's like, cool. And we flirt and whatever. I leave. I don't get Brenda's number, but she's got my card and maybe she'll call me. Anyway, it's like a week later. I'm out at Saints camp covering the Saints. Mike McCarthy, the former Green Bay Packers Super Bowl coach and the Dallas Cowboys was the Cowboys coach, just recently let go. He was Saints offensive coordinator. And I'm like, hey, Mike, after breakfast, I'm like, you got a second for an interview? He's like, sure. So we knock out the interview. And I'm like, thanks again, Mike. He's no problem. And then he's just standing there. I'm just like, what? And he goes, yeah, the blonde in the stands at the black and gold game, that's my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, wow, all right. So he knows the whole story. The Saints offense coordinator. I didn't know it was his girlfriend. I don't step on number 2 to get to number 1. You know, I would have left her alone. But she said, this guy gave me his card, said he'd give me Saints tickets. Yeah, I'm dating the Saints offensive coordinator. And Mike McCarthy, let me see that card. That's Corey Johnson. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. So anyway, was I breaking rules there? Now I didn't do it on air. So I guess it doesn't matter. If you see the video of the Braves play-by-play color guy and the reporter in the field flirting with the girls, it is totally harmless. It's funny. It's not misogynistic. It's not respecting women, any of this crap. It's harmless. And they're catching a bunch of crap in this politically correct nonsense world that we live in. What's that, Blue Boy? Political correctness. That's right. What's that, buddy? You're short. That's just how it is. You're a basset hound. You take no offense to people saying you're short. Don't need all this political height, restricted, or yeah, I get it, Blue Boy. You're right on the money. Hey, New Orleans, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Miss Peaches. I'll see you mañana, wide open Wednesday, 4:00 tomorrow.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.